Compass FM. Dan Gordon, your worshipfulness, and how are you today?
Oh, very good.
One of the things that I've noticed this morning, and this has just popped into the top of my head, is that the commuting time between Rangiora and into the central city is around 30 odd minutes, and that is actually a wee bit slower than normal. But in a couple of years ago, you and I were sitting here talking about the Northern Corridor and how it was being built, and it was, I remember, up to 44 minutes from Rangiora into the central city using the old way. So even though there's a wee bit of tail back on Old Cranford Street, it's still absolutely amazing.
It is really, and Northern Corridor has been a game changer for the district here. It's not only for commuters but people that go into town throughout the day, but also for businesses that have looked to locate out here, because we're not that close really from the city or from the airport. I was not that far away from either location, but increasingly we've found that the investment that's coming here, more and more people want to stay in the local area because businesses are locating here that are for them and what they want to see. So Northern Corridor certainly made a huge difference, but your commuting times are certainly there. But crikey, when you compare that with other parts of New Zealand, particularly Auckland, we really don't have a lot to complain about in that regard. But they're things that we're always looking for, how we can improve Southbrook's an area that's a priority for me and the council in particular.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I have to say, through Woodend as well, it gets reasonably congested at times too, so the things on our list.
There was a bit of an issue in Woodend yesterday, apparently, in the early morning and in the afternoon drive time, considering that the lights outside the school were just going automatically into a pedestrian crossing and 4 or 5 cars were getting through. This is peak rush hour traffic. Do you have anything to do with that, or is that on State Highway 1 and Waka-Kotahi needs to take care of it? It is
Waka-Kotahi, but I wasn't aware of that, but I assume that there was just probably a fault in the system there, so hopefully that's been resolved. But now you've raised it, I will ask when I get back to the office. Yeah,
please do if you can, because it was actually a really, really big concern yesterday morning and again yesterday afternoon. That's fantastic. The A380 is giving us a direct line from Dubai, Sydney into Christchurch City, the Northern Corridor and the roading system. Mate, we're going to get some tourists from overseas.
A380 is a fantastic aircraft. I remember flying from, we was on the way to Belgium for the 100th anniversary, and I flew from Hong Kong to Frankfurt in the A380. Amazing aircraft.
They're just beautiful, aren't
they? They are.
Absolutely.
And just the jet thrust, just incredible. I love planes, but that was one right up there.
Yeah,
a real treat to go on that.
Brilliant stuff. Now, one of the things that you mentioned just before, the fact that with the Northern Corridor, businesses coming to Waimakariri, there's been a number of business parks, working away, and you break ground to one of them a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
How is the complex being built down Kippenberger Ave there? Is it Bellevue? That one
Belgrove.
There? Belgrove. So, how's that getting on?
Yeah, going really well. Well, the ground, certainly they're getting on with the site work, so I understand sales are a little slower than anticipated, but that's to be expected just with things presently. But my understanding is that the site works are well ahead of schedule, and as you go down there you can see that there's a lot of work going on. We've got the public works that we want to see complete, which is the replanting of the trees and something suitable for Howard Kippenberger, because along there Kippenberger Avenue is a memorial for a decorated war hero there, so from our area, so it's important that that's undertaken, and that's been a priority for us. But what's enabled, and unfortunately the trees had to be removed there, but the undergrounding of the overhead power lines, which actually improves things along this. It'll mean that trees will not have to be pruned like they have been in the past. They've been pollarded, and it absolutely ruin the tree.
So that's off to the northeast of Rangiora. What about to the northwest with the airport? Now, there is going to be an open day out there again pretty soon. Are you going to be out there flying a plane around?
I'd love to. Unfortunately, I've got 3 other things I should be at on Saturday, but I've got I'm launching the Relay for Life, which is Cancer Society in the morning, which is really important, and then out to Oxford for the AMP show, which is the first AMP show there's been in a few years. So I'm looking forward to both of those. But I understand the airfield has an open day on Saturday, which is great for people to see the airfield and what it operates. The airfield's owned by the council, but there's lots of clubs and organisations that make that place really hum, including our air cadets, which are out there as well. So we have a lot to do with making sure that airfield continues. We've got a partnership being developed between ourselves and Daniel Smith, who's bought a lot of land around it. So we want to see the future of the airfield secure. So there's a proposal around what that might look like, and in due course we'll be talking to the public about that. But from my point of view, anything that protects our airfield and adds to it, because it's a real jewel in our crown, is something that we want to support.
That's the Runyura airfield is actually a very important part of the microlight craft that are flying up and down the country. It's actually a really, really cool little pit stop place. Not so much the international airport, but it's a great little place to have. I remember going out there, it was about 2 years ago. They had a P-51 Mustang lined up. It was a replica, but there was a couple of Spitfires out there as well, and all sorts of other cool planes. So if the AMP show, of course, the Relay for Life, but if you've got an hour of your time, take the kids out to the Runyura airfield.
Absolutely. I remember jumping in the Spitfire, well, not literally jumping in it, getting into it, and it's a replica. I think it's 80% scale, and I struggled to get in there.
Did you?
But the owner, Ivan Campbell, who's an amazing fellow, was really keen to get me in there, but you couldn't close the windows. There's no way I could have flown in it, but fantastic. And that's out at Lobian Abbey, so we have a lot of aviation enthusiasts out here in the district. But
absolutely.
Lots to do this weekend, and in particular there's the Kaipoi River Carnival as well as the AMP show, so encourage people to get out and enjoy those things, but also get behind and support the Relay for Life fundraiser for the Cancer Society and all the good work that they do. There's a lot of families, including our own, that have been touched by unfortunately by cancer, and the impact that it has, and anything that can be done to support people that are suffering, but also the ongoing research into cancer, then the Relay for Life is one way that we can get in behind and make sure that that's a successful fundraiser for the Cancer Society.
Every family in New Zealand gets affected by cancer, so if we can, we do. Anything that you're going to like to share with us as far as council is concerned today? Give us a scoop, Dan.
I haven't got any, Kerry. You ask me that quite often. None that I can think of the top of my head.
So it's a normal week at council?
Yeah, we haven't got committee meetings today, but we normal meeting of regular meetings. So they end committee related meetings. There's plenty of things going on. I've got some meetings around cycleways and other things today, so plenty to keep me out of mischief, and making sure we keep connecting with our community about the things that are important to it.
It's what you do. It's what you voted for, Dan, or what everyone voted for you for. But so that's fantastic. Dan Gordon, Mayor of the Waimakariri. We'll have another chat next Tuesday about the same time.
Look forward to it. Take care, Kerry.
Take care, Dan.
Compass FM.